Hi, welcome back to Joy in the Quarantine. We're in Philippians chapter 3, verse 13 today. We'll take that verse alone because it's enough for us. We dive in right there. Paul writes, "Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead." Well, we'll just hold on right there. We'll save the next verse for next time. When he says, "I don't consider myself to have taken hold of it," what is he talking about? It's that goal that he talked about in verse 12. I haven't already gotten it, he said then. I haven't already arrived at my goal, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm pressing onward toward it to take hold of that which Christ took hold of me. And so he's saying, yet again here, don't think of me as the perfect Christian. Don't think of me as someone who's been snatched out of this world and I'm already enjoying the things that you guys down there are only dreaming of. No, Paul is lumping himself in right with everybody else who is saying, I just wish I were in heaven. I just wish this world weren't like this. I wish I could stick to my promises. I wish I could say no to those temptations and then just be done with them. He's aware that he's not like that, just like you are not like that, and I'm not. But he is doing this one thing. That's where his verse goes in the middle. One thing I do, I forget that what's behind him and straining toward what's ahead. Maybe that's opposite what you picture Christians doing. Often we're pictured as kind of facing backwards, looking at Christmas and Good Friday and Easter as our big days. That's when Christianity was founded. That's what we always focus on when we're in church. That's what we should be looking at all the time, just looking backwards, surveying the wondrous cross. We do that, and we're reminded of that. We wouldn't know what we're looking forward to. We wouldn't know that it would be for us if we didn't look back and remember all the things that Jesus did for us. But there are certain things in our past that we just do need to forget. The sins that God has forgiven us for, the sins that God has forgiven other people for, the sins that we have forgiven other people for, we're not going to hold on to those and say, but look, I can't get to heaven. This person can't get to heaven because they've messed up. They've done things that are wrong. So how am I ever going to be saved? Because look at that in the past. You're going to have to forget that because Jesus has forgotten that and removed it as far as the east is from the west, forgetting that behind and strain toward what's ahead. That tips your body as you're leaning and running in another direction. You're straining towards something out in the future that you don't have yet, but you know what it is. You know what's coming. What is ahead is that which Christ Jesus took hold of me. Jesus grabbed you in the water of baptism and rescued you out of that water, out of your own death, and brought you to a new and resurrected life. That you're the image of God in you is being restored. Your sanctification today and every day is working on it. It's an effort. It's a struggle. Not your salvation, but your desire to say no to sin and yes to Him. That is something we're working on. And some days you're doing better, and some days you're doing worse. But through it all, you are saved. Through it all, you're saved, and your hope is there out in the future. That when God calls you out of this world, you're welcomed into the glory of heaven. You're not there yet. Remind yourself of that. Maybe at a rough time in life, at a time when you're crying, it hits you. This world is not perfect. Maybe we thought the world was perfect because we just had a pretty good life for a good stretch. Remember, this is not the Garden of Eden. This is not paradise. This has some nice things in this world, but it's not perfect. And so we strain toward what's ahead. We don't look for the good old days from behind us. We look forward to some great and beautiful and perfect days that lie ahead of us. And they're not here on this world while we're living here. It's not going to be like that. Don't expect it. Don't get disappointed if this world is not like that, or this city, or this country, whatever. What lies ahead for you is an inheritance in heaven that is perfect. Remind yourself of that today. Let that be your peace and your comfort. God go with you and keep you safe today. Until next time.